Hello and welcome to Season 2 of A Table in the Corner. This season we'll sit down with the chefs who make restaurants glow. From fine dining restaurants to neighborhood gems, listen to their stories, learn more about the restaurants they've built, their menus, and also where do they eat off duty? What do they like to eat when they have downtime and they're watching Netflix? I've worked in the food and media space for more than 3 decades. I've run bars, owned restaurants, produced a bunch of cookbooks, including 7 bestsellers like Bride the Beloved Country, The Farm Kitchen, Harvest, and A Week in the Kitchen. And I've spent almost a decade writing about and photographing food in Cape Town and a little bit in Europe for a number of magazines. A Table in the Corner is my gift to the industry. It's a document of the life and times of the restaurants and chefs that bring us so much joy. Also, after a long hiatus, I've picked up a camera again and joined forces with the dynamic digital marketing team at Socially Unacceptable. If you know Sash and Misha, you'll know they are an incredibly talented and creative team that drive restaurants or food businesses through design and digital channels. They manage social media, design menus, and so forth. There's a link in the show notes to their profile page, and there's a link to the show notes where you can contact me as well. So do so and smash the like button wherever you see it. There will also be a YouTube channel coming in the not too distant future, so look out for that, but I'll announce it when it launches. And for now, sit back at your table in the corner and enjoy the show. This week's episode of A Table in the Corner is brought to you by 44 Stanley. If you haven't heard about it, it's a creative precinct in Johannesburg where food, design, and community come together. There are leafy courtyards, independent stores, there's outdoor dining, and all kinds of things, interesting, artisanally built stuff that's available there. It's the perfect place to slow down and discover something local. 44 Stanley's been around for a while, and it was created to gather the creative spirit, the creative heart of Johannesburg into one sort of beautiful space. And the cool thing about it is it's not a shopping mall, and there's outdoors. You can feel the sun on you, enjoy a great coffee somewhere like Bean there, which was started there. Visit 44 Stanley. It's Joburg's original urban oasis, and you can find them on Instagram at 44 Stanley Avenue. Haven't been in a while, but yeah, I'm keen to go back. It's a cool space. Today on the show, we're talking to Neil Swart. And Neil is the kind of owner, chef, proprietor, one of the forces behind Belly of the Beast, which is kind of my favorite restaurant that I never went to, except that I did the other day. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Thanks for joining me on the show.
Thanks for finally inviting me.
It's taken a while, hey? It's taken a while. And not for lack of trying, because I constantly refer Belly of the Beast as one of my favorite, but it's, as I say, it's the favorite place I've never been to.
Right.
But I've read every review. I love what you and Anouchka do. And today in the show, we're talking only to half of Belly of the Beast in Galjoen. We're talking to Anouchka in another chat about Galjoen, because that's her passion, right?
Yeah.
I want to just get into some of we've got a new format, and we're asking a bunch of set questions so that our listeners can locate themselves in like how the show works and what they're going to learn from it, right? Sure. So the beginnings is important. And I understand that you started out your kind of journey into kitchens at a hotel school.
I did, yeah. Only because I didn't know what to do.
Okay.
I was not a good student at school.
Okay.
I don't know many chefs that were good students, but I guess it's a bit different nowadays. People from a young age, they know about chefing and stuff, so they aim to do that.
They prepare, and they learn how to count lettuces.
Exactly. I had no idea what I was going to do.
Right.
So
had you had an interest in cooking before?
So I always joke and say I grew up in the kitchen, not cooking, just looking for stuff to eat, and that's really true. From a young age, I was just a hungry kid, and apparently my mom was on way less when she was expecting me, so I kind of blame her.
That could be it.
Because
don't you have to eat like cream cheese and crackers?
Something like that. Yeah.
Damn. Okay, that's wrong.
Yeah. So born hungry, so always in the kitchen, just looking for stuff to eat. So I wasn't drawn to cooking. I just later figured out, I guess I need to learn how to cook because that's just easier.
At some point, someone in your family is going to go mark itself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. And which hotel school did you go to?
So I grew up in Pretoria.
Okay.
And after school, as I said, I had no idea what I was going to do. And my parents kind of gave me an ultimatum and said, in 2 weeks' time, you're going to tell us what you're going to do.
Is it?
Yeah. And I had a girlfriend back then, and she was enrolled at the Capital Hotel School to go and study hotel management that next year.
Okay.
And I thought, that sounds easy enough. I can do that. That's literally how I got there. And when I walked in there, they have these 2 courses, the hotel management and the professional cookery. And I met all these chefs, and I was like, that's what I want to do.
That's what,
yeah.
But is it because of the chefs that you met or because they had fridges full of food?
Both. But they were just cool people, chefs there. And so you met the
cool people. They're interesting.
Most of them are, yeah. So I met the second years and the third year students there, and they just like these cool people that with the confidence of a chef, you know. And I was like, that's what I want to do.
When was that? What kind of year?
It's matric 2005, so 2006 I messed around for a year, 2007.
2007. And had that thing of chefs covering themselves in ink started? Was that why you thought they were cool?
No, not maybe it just started back then, I think, yeah.
Okay. And from there, I know that you found your way into Michael Broughton's kitchen at Terroir.
Yeah.
How did that happen? Because that was a win.
That was everything. So I did hotel management, and it's a 2-year diploma. And then I went overseas a little to go and mess around. Yeah. But I always knew I was coming down to Cape Town to study chefing down here.
Okay.
So I did professional cookery down here at Backsburg.
The wine estate.
Yeah, it was called TCA, Culinary Academy. And as a placement, I ended up at Terroir. And I owe a lot to Michael. Like, that's where I learned everything about cooking and tasting. He's a good sommelier, and he put me on that section when I was quite young still, and I learned a lot from him. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, Michael, and at some stage I'm going to get to talk to him on the show. I have to kind of snipe at the big names and salt them through. Mm. But Michael has a very particular reputation as someone who is extremely particular. Like, he'll work obsessively on a dish until it's perfectly right.
Oh, yeah.
Did he drive you guys like that as well?
He did, yeah. We still talk about him and think about it when we design a dish. He was always talking about checking all the boxes.
Yes.
So the colors, the textures, the tastes, like all those boxes, you need to tick them. Yeah. And we still do that today, yeah.
And he's very classically trained, classically driven chef. Right?
100%, yeah.
Yeah. But that doesn't really come through in Belly of the Beast.
It's in the background. It's there.
So that's it, isn't it?
It is. We simplified things. So back working at Terroir, there was a lot of ingredients on the plate back then, you know, because that's what chefs did back then as well.
Exactly, yeah.
And myself and Anouchka always spoke about back then, because I met Anouchka there.
Okay, so that's what I was going to get to. So you met Anouchka in that kitchen.
I met her in that kitchen. I also met my wife there. She was the restaurant manager at Terroir.
It's a very incestuous little industry.
It is. I know many friends of mine are married to like Terroir people that come from Terroir.
Yeah. But also the thing is that a lot of people either meet in chef school, carry on, they go to different restaurants, then they get back together, or they meet their love in the kitchen.
I mean, who else do you socialize with?
Well, and also it's a pressure cooker. Yeah. I mean, you learn people so well when you're working like shoulder to shoulder in service under pressure, right?
When normal people care, then we're working, and then when they go to bed, then we care. So then you meet your better half.
And also really meet them, really get to see what they're like under pressure. Yeah. Interesting that. So from Terroir, you moved on. What was in fact, before we go there, let's take a moment to hear from our sponsors. One of the biggest challenges currently facing chefs and restaurant operators is rising input costs. Managing them can be really difficult. That's what Heads Up is for. The team at Heads Up developed an app where you can scan or photograph invoices, upload them to the system, and it'll produce comparative prices from suppliers throughout your region. This allows operators or chefs to negotiate with their suppliers on price. If this guy has chicken breasts for $5 a kilo less, or cleaning materials are 15% less somewhere else, you have a tool to negotiate a better price. Something that helps you do a little better on each bill. New operators starting out can benchmark prices across the range so they can effectively cost menus and sundries from day one. There's a link to Heads Up's website in the show notes. Get in touch. They'll help you get a fair price. What was the kind of impetus that got you out of terroir?
The confidence of youth.
The confidence of youth.
Yeah.
Okay. How old were you when you did that?
23.
20. Oh, that's hard going.
It is, but I'm glad I did it.
Because
I learned a lot from
the groundwork in. Yeah.
I learned a lot from doing that. I bumbled around overseas a little bit, so I saw different kitchens and stuff, but it's one of my regrets is not working in more kitchens as a young man. Just doing stages and stuff like that. Because when you're 23, that's a lot of responsibility from a young age, and that's it. Then there's no more stages and things, and going overseas and having a little fun in this kitchen and that kitchen. So that is one of my regrets, but also I don't regret it because a lot of people still need to learn a lot from like opening up your own business. It's a big learning curve, and it doesn't matter how many restaurants you work in. You need to work for yourself to learn that, I think.
To learn, look, every kitchen, every chef has their own, and in a way, a lot of people who might come out of this kitchen or that kitchen then have to kind of unlearn a whole lot of stuff because they've got to learn the new chef's way. But then you have to form your own path when you run your own shop.
Oh, definitely, right? Yeah.
So you and Anouchka, did you both leave together to have a go, or did
no? She actually left. She left before me. She went to Wilderness. Somebody gave her an opportunity there to run a restaurant.
Okay.
And she did that. And I went to the northern suburbs and opened Arugula. And
so I never knew about Arugula, but in the background reading for this chat, I heard about what was Arugula about?
That was a neighborhood eatery.
Okay.
So we did like burgers and things, simple food, but just cooked well. Like I took what I learned at Terroir and really broke it down into simple food, but with the same quality ingredients and cooking methods, and really tried to do a neighborhood eatery there.
Because looking at some of the background reading I did on you for this, it comes up again and again that you are not anti-fine dining, but you feel that food could be simpler.
I don't like the word fine dining.
Yeah, you don't like the word. Here we go. Okay.
Because there's no other word. I think that's the thing. So it puts a label on you and say, this is fine dining.
Yeah.
If it's not fine dining, then what is it?
I mean, I've heard the term elevated dining, but
sure.
What's the difference? Yeah.
Back at Arugula, I used to call it family fine food, and it was a little term that I used.
And how did Arugula go?
It was the most successful restaurant that didn't make any money. It was a really busy restaurant, but like as I said, I was young, so you make mistakes. I think our rental was way too high there,
and your pricing.
You don't have that confidence to price things as you should.
And also a lot of when you start out, you go, okay, I paid R5 for this. I need whatever percentage on this, and then you completely forget that there's rent and this and staff and lights, and then what happens if the gas runs out and da. So you don't even have a formula to apply to your costing, right?
And then they come to you every second month and say you must pay this much VAT, and you're like, and then you say, what is VAT exactly?
But the thing is that was like a learning curve for you.
Massive,
taught you everything because you opened a shop, you're too young, you're like sweating at night.
Yeah. And look, it ran itself for we were open for 6 or 7 years, and it ran itself. So it wasn't like a terrible business, but it wasn't I lived off it, but it wasn't it was a very busy shop. We were full every night, but it wasn't a great financial success.
So it's not like, I mean, where did you get the helicopter from then?
I stole that.
Yeah, you sold it. Had to sell it to run the shop. But okay, and through Arugula, at some point you connected with Anouchka again.
No, actually, so when she heard I was opening up a restaurant, me and Anouchka got along at Terroir right off the bat because we like the same music and our palates are very similar and so on. So we used to go out to Bohemia afterwards and just drink Black Label and talk about music.
Yeah.
And then she went to Wilderness and she phoned me one day and said, I heard you're opening up a restaurant. Can I come work for you? And then I said, because I was so young and stupid, I said, well, yeah, send me your CV. And we put the phone down. And a few seconds later, I picked up the phone and said, don't worry about the CV. I know you got the job. So she was the sous chef there.
Okay.
And I was the head chef or chef proprietor.
Because you were in charge.
I was in charge.
You're in charge.
But exactly, yeah.
And what happened? I mean, 6 years in arugula at the best restaurant that's never made any money. When did you start talking about belly, or was there a jump? Because didn't you do a couple of pop-ups?
So I went to Blitz for a little bit, and we did a arugula there.
Okay.
Was there for about 2 years, then came back. So then Anouchka ran arugula while I was in Blitz.
Okay.
I came back, but from the start at arugula, it was a neighborhood restaurant. So we had our menu, and we couldn't really change the menu anymore because you have your regular customers coming in.
And they won't let you take things.
No. If you take something off, they're upset.
You're done. Yeah.
So you can't just keep adding.
Yeah.
So it became boring. So we did these monthly food and wine pairings with a new menu.
To challenge yourself.
Exactly. So every month, a new wine farm, we choose them and work with them with their wines and come up with a brand new menu for that night. And we love doing it.
Okay.
And that's where the idea started forming. And we're like, why don't we just do this every night? And then we knew we didn't want to be in the burbs for that. So we wanted to come to Cape Town to do that. And that's where Belly of the Beast sort of started.
I want to stop you there. I'm going to take another commercial break.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone who listens to the show regularly will know that my absolute favorite burger in Cape Town is Zuni Wagyu. That's about not just the quality of the burger, not just the amazing flavor, not just about the tallow fried chips. It's about how cool this little business is. There's two sons of a couple of Eastern Cape farmers who sustainably raise Wagyu got together to help their dads sell their Wagyu. Because Wagyu is a premium product, a lot of the people who buy from them were buying the prime cuts. So they were left with a lot of meat, and their beautiful pasture-reared animals were there was a lot of waste from it. So these youngsters decided that they were going to start a burger shop, make amazing smash burgers and sell them to the public. So it's a direct farm to fork operation, and it's incredible. It's an incredibly well-branded, well-thought-out little business, and it truly embodies the spirit of farm to fork or farm to bun, as they call it. I love this operation. It's starting to expand, and it deserves all the success. And we're back. So you said that you couldn't be in the burbs to do what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
And you opened in Harrington Street, and you anchored one end of Harrington Street with Belly at a time when this was kind of the forgotten precinct of the city.
Yeah.
Intentional?
No, by chance.
Oh, completely.
Yeah, we were looking all over Cape Town for places.
Something.
So we had the concept, and we're like, where are we going to do this?
Yeah.
And we went to look at so many places, and it's just not right. Then we find a place that's right for us, and then it'll fall through, and then things would change. And then I just had a friend who was friends with the girl who ran Raptor Room. I don't know if you know.
I remember Raptor Room. I actually came there a couple of times.
So that's in the same building as Bailey. It's around the corner, right?
It's the same building.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just heard of this man that has a building that has a space that he wants to let out.
Can I tell you something? That the lines of convergence happen again. Round the corner in Ruland Street, the entrance next to the building next to Raptor Room is where my first photographic studio in town was, on the 5th floor. Okay. And then they built this big building here in
your view,
in my light.
Terrible. So in 79 Ruland Street.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the same building as us.
That's amazing. I hadn't made that connection.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And so you knew the person who's running the Raptor Room, so you spoke to them and got this.
Yeah, through a friend that knows her, I got the number of the landlord, the owner of the building, and I spoke to him directly, and we came to look at the place, and it was a motorbike workshop.
That's right. Yes.
Mike Hopkins, I think, and it was empty, and there was a layer of oil on the floor like this, but it was a blank canvas, and that's all we wanted. It was a square room. And that's what we like. We don't like corners and things, so we always build an open kitchen because we want to see everyone.
Okay, because that is a thing about you, is that you build an open kitchen. And the other day when you were kind enough to invite me to lunch, and I was watching the whole thing, and I was watching the team operate in that kind of galley style kitchen. It was amazing the whole interaction.
So it's less about that and more about us being able to see you.
To see and to watch when you're ready for the next thing.
Everything,
how you're
just
reacting.
like there's the communication between front of house and back of house is so clear when you have an open kitchen like that.
Absolutely.
Because you can see everything that's going on.
Everything is going on. So let's talk about the menu. You don't like the term fine dining. You're presenting fascinating kind of combinations and ingredients in really interesting ways. Where's that influence from? Because that's not Michael Broughton. Where does that come from?
So it always stems from nostalgia, almost, our menus.
Okay.
So me and Anouchka we both grew up in families that love food.
Okay.
So we very often start there, is like remembering something from our childhood that we ate and just like bringing it into 2025, that's what we like. So it's South African flavors and ingredients and just presented in a different way, I think.
And I mean, I like the use of grains, the sorghums, those sorts of things. How do people respond to that with you?
Very good, I think. Yeah,
because you guys have pretty much been full since shortly after you opened.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
We had sleepless nights of opening belly. What if nobody comes?
What if it's cuck?
Yeah, because it's only 28 seats and people don't have any options.
20? Is it still 28 seats at belly?
It's 28, yeah. So we can do 30 at a stretch.
Okay. Because I think that you can do 30 at a stretch, and it's very intimate, very connected,
right?
And you're constantly engaging with your team, right?
Yeah.
And telling stories. If you were to, this is one of the form questions from the new format.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to identify one recipe, one item on the menu, or something that recurs, that you would say, this talks to who we are at Belly of the Beast, what would that dish be?
If I can pick one ingredient, and I know Anouchka she'll agree with me, we lamb people. Not lamb necessarily, we sheep people.
People.
Yeah. So
we're done. How did I know you're going to go there? Because of the flavor. Because it develops. It's amazing.
Yeah. So we...
And it's why a mutton curry is always so amazing.
Delicious,
compared to a lamb curry. Yeah.
So we get tweetand mostly from Bertie, from Loeverland, up in Prieska.
Prieska, yeah.
So the lamb comes directly from him, or the tweetand, and then we do the whole animals. So we cycle through them in the menu. So we'll use... Today, everyone's eating shanks in the restaurant. Tomorrow's everyone's eating loins, or half the restaurant will be eating loin and the other half will be eating shoulder or whatever. But it's whatever's hanging in the fridge.
Okay.
Yeah.
And because also the thing is that you definitely are whole beast people.
Yeah.
And I suppose that's what Belly of the Beast hints at, or where did that name come from?
I'll get the name. I'll tell you about the name now. Just the whole beast I like. So we're moving away a little bit from the nose to tail words, because people only expect the nose and the tail then. People expect they're only going to get kidneys or offal or something. And we're like, wait, no, there's a lot of between the nose and the tail.
Yeah.
There's a whole animal there.
And there's some good stuff there too.
Exactly.
You don't just have to eat chicken hearts.
Exactly.
And gizzards.
Yeah. So the name is, again, we had the concept. We didn't have a space or a name for it.
Yeah.
And one of the places we looked at was in Church Square. It was a tiny little room with a staircase going down. And when we were standing there, we were planning, the kitchen will be down there. So the dining room will be up here, and you can look down into the belly of the beast. And then the name just stuck from there because it worked with the concept.
Having said that, and talking about the name coming from people being able to look down into the kitchen, or people being sort of almost incorporated into your kitchen because you can see everything that's going on and you can watch them. What's the experience you want people to have? And from the point of view of the atmosphere of the shop and the restaurant, what What do you feel that you're bringing people to experience?
I just want people to have a lekker South African experience. So that comes from like the warmth and hospitality that we as South Africans have, but also the food. Like if somebody comes from overseas and says, "Where can I go eat to experience what South African cuisine is, or like South African ingredients? Where can I go eat?" I want people to say, "Go to Belly of the Beast. That's an experience. You're going to get some lamb offal there and."
Sweetbreads or whatever it is.
Tongue with mustard sauce and all that.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that's what we want. We want a lekker experience.
And for you and Anouchka both, that experience comes out of your experience as South Africans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. Yeah, I get that completely. The team. Okay, so the interaction with the team. So I've been having a lot of conversations recently where people are like, "Oh, if another person spends 5 minutes explaining the whole dish to me again," and I agree, only because where it used to be that the host or the chef would come to you and say, "Listen, I spoke to the farmer. He got me this quail. He raised quail like this. They eat this, and I decided to cook it because he lives on a river, and the river's the same name as my child." Whatever,
Right.
It would be a personal thing, right? And then, as that becomes a trend, people teach their staff how to say that from a script.
Right.
I didn't feel that at Belly,
Good.
at all. I felt that the people who were talking to me about what I was eating knew exactly what they were doing.
Yeah.
How did you build that in the team?
So I think our menu change is a big one. So when we change our menu, we close the restaurant for a day. When we do our tasting, that'll be 2 weeks before we change the menu.
Okay.
So we close the whole shop for a day. Everyone comes in, from the cleaners to the waiters, everyone. And we cook the whole menu, and we make a long table, and we sit down and we eat that menu start to finish. And we have about 30 wines on the table.
Yeah.
And we discuss and fight and argue until we can pick a wine for each dish. So we have
That's a really robust way of doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what I like about it is we don't do theoretical wine pairings, we do a practical wine pairing.
Yeah.
So at least 5 people around this table agree this is the wine for that dish. And that gives you real confidence in serving that wine with a dish.
Yeah.
And to get to your question, it gives the waiters confidence in explaining that dish because they were involved in that dish, because we make changes from there, and they get a say.
So they get to say, "Oh, I don't like this because it's too acid, or it's a bit salty, or why wouldn't you?" And when I was a kid, I used to eat it like this. Really?
Yeah.
Because I got a very real sense,
right,
that the people that every single person who introduced a dish to me knew what they were talking about. They knew what they were talking about, whereas very often it's like almost reading with the crib notes,
And we listen to them. We don't just act like we listen. We listen to them, and they've been with us for a long time. So some of our staff come from Arugula, from 2012 when we opened that.
Okay.
And
they're still with you?
They're still with us, and some of them came and worked at Arugula with zero experience, and they are now managers at Galjoen and Belly.
And your host, manager, greeter dude was absolutely outstanding.
Right.
I didn't get his name on the brain.
Must be Farai.
Yeah, I think fantastic.
Old Arugula staff.
Amazing.
He's been with me for years now.
There's a section now in the show called Watch List, okay? And it's about who you think, who my guest thinks is really killing it at the moment in time.
Right.
He's cooking stuff that you're like, "Oh, I wish I did that," or the kind of place that you think everyone should be queuing outside and booking.
Right. Yeah.
Who?
I've got a couple.
Okay, well, there's a lot of talent in this town, so you can have a couple.
So, Vusi Ndlovu.
Vusi Ndlovu.
He does really important things, and he tells those African stories with his dishes, and I think people should be queuing up to eat it and to listen to the stories.
Couldn't agree more with you. And he's got Upsi Panchwa, his partner, who tells the stories, and she's amazing, and an amazing sommelier as well.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I'm going to shortly, I will be interviewing Vusi on the show.
Cool.
So apart from Vusi?
So Marcus from what's it called, Urchin, I believe, at the Hyatt, just opened up.
Marcus Gericke.
That's it.
He's just at the Hyatt Hotel.
Yes.
He's just opened.
Just open.
Ocean, yes.
And I really like his concept. It's the journey of the Western Cape. And I haven't eaten there, so just so you know. But
so it's theoretical at the moment.
Yeah.
He comes out of one of that
But,
Sanskrit.
it was a chorus.
Chorus. He was a chorus, right?
Yeah. So I just think we need to watch him because what I see he's doing looks really cool, and I'm very keen to go and eat.
He's someone I'm going to phone up and interview, I think. Yeah. Who else?
I just, I watched his episode with you, and he mentioned everyone except for me, Andrew from Frankie Fenner. So I thought I just mentioned him.
Yeah, just to get him back.
Just to get him in, yeah. No, because I think we all need to eat better meat.
We do, and Andrew nails a legendary.
He nails it.
He totally does. And I've been wanting, it's difficult because during the week and with a 13-year-old daughter, trying to get to one of the Frankie Fenner feasts is hard, but I really want to go.
I've done a couple.
And?
That's good.
Amazing, eh?
Yeah.
I can only imagine. Yeah. It's how for 8 years I've imagined your menu.
He just needs to turn down the amount of food that he serves.
Is it?
It's just funny coming from me, but I've told him before, because when you walk out of there, you are finished.
Is it?
Yeah. And don't fall for the biltong, like the most delicious biltong platters when you arrive.
Yeah.
Don't fill up on that because there's a lot of good food coming.
Okay, I'll take your advice on that. So, off duty, where are you going to eat?
My favorite place isn't available anymore. Yeah. There was a little pizza restaurant in the northern suburbs called Pizza Vesuvio.
Yes. Okay.
It's still there, but the Italian family
they've moved on.
They sold it, yeah. And I used to drive from Cape Town there for pizza. That before there's Napolitana style pizzas was a vibe, and before Pizza Shed, and they were there doing pizzas like that. Terrible service. Yeah. Doesn't matter because the pizza is good enough.
Family, so they've moved on.
They've moved on. Yeah.
Okay. Where else?
Sometimes, not a lot, but sometimes, I'll tell the team at Bailey that I'm working at Galjoen, and I'll tell the team at Galjoen that I'm working at Bailey. But where I really am is sitting at Diaz Tavern by the bar with a friend of mine, and then we order two things: the Joey special, which is trinchado and calamari with chips.
Yes.
And then we take a half chicken, peri-peri, with rice. And then they put it all on a platter for us. And then we sit there and we drink beer and we eat that. And it's one of the best things you can do.
That's a good shout.
Yeah, it's just down the road.
It's right here.
Yeah.
So it's in your precinct.
It is.
Neil Swart, thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chef.
Cheers.